I'm at 715 Saratoga Street in Newport, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access point is clean out here in the ground, right. If you're facing the house, this is the front, facing the house just to the right of the front right corner in the driveway here. And then we're going to try to go both directions. Hopefully we can go downstream and upstream. Sometimes with the line being this deep, you can see it's roughly 8 to 10 feet deep, really. Sometimes it's a little difficult to be able to turn the camera the way we want, and so we're going to try to go in here to get it to go backwards first. And so a lot of times, like you see when we're going upstream, there's a little bit of a lip there, and sometimes it won't get it to jump, and we got it. I believe that is going upstream. So we'll continue to go. And obviously if we run into the main within the next 40 feet or so, we'll know we went downstream, but it looks like we are going upstream. This is clay pipe, which is pretty common for the age of this house. And so the biggest thing we usually see with clay pipe, most common I should say, is root intrusion. I don't see a whole lot of trees here, so hopefully we won't have to worry about that. But it looks to me like the line runs along the side of the house. This is pretty normal for Newport and Covington, as it runs backwards on the side of the house and then comes into the side and goes all the way back. On the interior, it did look like most of the plumbing was replaced, and so far all the exterior line, all this clay pipe looks really good. A little bit of debris in here, probably from repairs, and there are some downspouts tied into this, and so that's always something that you see. Here is the Y, and this is probably right at the end. Yeah, this is right at the end. Going up, if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see where how the angle of the camera changes. That is the angle at which the camera is sitting. It's 44 degrees. And so that is the base. So that little bit of debris is not a problem. It's probably getting into the floor drain more than anything. This is probably a floor drain connection there to the left, or it is straight ahead. A lot of times they start at a floor drain, and you just have some dirt from groundwater and stuff like that getting in. You can tell by the type of debris. It's very little, very minimal, so it's not an issue. But 60 feet backwards is the beginning of the line. So as we pull back, we'll take a look, try to take a little bit closer look at all this. What I've seen is just some debris. It's, like I said earlier, that it's pretty uncommon. This probably it does have a stone foundation, and so a little bit of water in there, something, or dirt off the floor gets in the floor drains, and that's usually what happens. And then when there's not a whole lot of flow at that spot, because there's no water going into a floor drain most of the time, then it doesn't really flush it out. So that's all that was. And so far the line looks really good. And you can see something like that where it looks like a lip because I'm going upstream. But in reverse, obviously the water is falling down into the next section of pipe. And that's how that's So obviously we're going backwards, that's why it looks like that. Should be getting close to the clean out here. We're just at the base of the. Here we are. We are at the base of the clean out. You can tell I'm holding the camera upright. Okay, now we're going to try to go downstream. Should be pretty easy to go downstream. That's the way it wants to go. And there we go. A little bit of water sitting there at where the clean out was installed. Not an issue. Just a little bit of a low spot because of the clean out sitting on top of it, and that clean out's always been there. At least there's always been a down pipe right there. So you will have some little bit of water here, but nothing, obviously not a problem. It is a sewer line, so you should have some water. And the good news is that I haven't seen any root intrusion. I haven't seen any issues at all so far with the clay, which is really good news, especially for something that's over 100 years old. So with this median in the center of the street, the sewer main must be all the way across on the other side. Here we go. And that's why I'm saying we have to be getting close, because this house isn't very far off the street. But if we wanted, I was hoping to try to get some water in here to try to get the camera rinsed off a little bit better. But there's not really anything flowing. Not a lot of people are home today. So we're going to go push out until I find some here. Usually there's a lot of water in the main. There we go. I just want to try to make sure that we can get enough of the camera rinsed off to where we have a good visual on the way back. So that should be good. I think I pushed an extra 15 feet in the sewer main. And there we go, back into the tap. So, continue recording on the way back. But the line looks really good. Especially, like I said, for a clay pipe at this age. This looks really good. keep jumping forward like that, just trying to get a little bit of water there to keep the lens clean. Any kind of debris obviously kind of gets gooey on the camera head, and we just want to make sure we can see the best of our ability. We should be getting back close to the clean out again, and there we are. So the line looked great. I don't have any issues at all. That's wonderful for having this old of a line and being this deep. It's exactly what you want. And it being under the driveway, but also being probably 8 to 9 feet deep here. The line looks great. All the connections were nice and tight. In the line there were no bellies. There's a little bit of water at the base of this clean out just because you have a little bit of settlement when it first got put in. And you have this kind of a stand pipe or a vertical pipe sitting on top of that. But it wasn't even enough to cover the camera once the camera got horizontal. And so I'm very pleased with this line, especially with the H. So no issues. It's flowing open and freely. If you run some water maybe down that the area drain in the basement, like I said, that little bit of debris, but it's not causing any issue. It's just that part of the line doesn't get much usage, and so. But if you wanted to do that to make yourself feel better, you could. Other than that, the line looks great. So that'll end the inspection at 715 Saratoga Street in Newport, Kentucky.